Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your. The Warriors played very well and showed that they are a great team and eliminated the Houston Rockets from the playoffs. In the Western Conference semifinals, the Warriors will face the Minnesota Timberwolves. Even though these are tough games, the Warriors are confident of reaching the conference finals. This is a time of joy, but the Warriors executives will make moves after the season, and a former player that fans really like has been suggested. Rumors: Warriors want to bring back Andrew Wiggins in exchange for Jonathan Kuminga. Heading into the Golden State Warriors Game 7 matchup against the Houston Rockets, head coach Steve Kerr stated he was open to including Jonathan Kuminga in his rotation. The former lottery pick received 7 minutes of playing time in the Dubs' statement 103-89 victory over the Rockets, tallying 0 points, 1 steal, and 1 rebound. Kuminga had a solid start to the year but has declined rapidly, making him a Warriors misfit as the club continues its championship pursuit. Blue Man Hoops' Peter O'Keefe believes the Warriors should part with Kuminga this summer in favor of a reunion with a 6'7" NBA champion forward. Perhaps Miami Heat would give the former 7th overall pick, Kuminga, the contract and playing time he desires, while Golden State could bring Andrew Wiggins home in a potential sign-and trade, O'Keefe wrote Saturday. It wouldn't be the first time that the Warriors have moved a former top 10 pick to reunite with a former veteran, having traded James Wiseman at the 2023 midseason deadline in a deal that reunited them with Gary Payton 2 months after letting him walk in free agency. Wiggins may no longer be suited to being the second offensive option on a strong playoff team, but he'd likely be a perfect third option alongside Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry. The former number 1 overall pick is set to make $28.2 million, meaning the Warriors may have to give up more than just Kuminga if a Wiggins reunion was to be on the cards. After competing with the Minnesota Timberwolves for 5.5 seasons, Wiggins joined the Warriors via a massive 2020 trade. Wiggins, a unique athlete known for playing below his potential before landing with Golden State, was a pivotal contributor in the Warriors' notable 2022 championship run. The Kansas product averaged 16.5 points and 7.5 rebounds per game that postseason, shooting 46.9% from the field in 22 contests. As the number 2 scoring option on the Dubs this season, Wiggins was far from an offensive slouch, pouring in 17.6 points per game on efficient shooting splits and snagging 4.6 rebounds per game in 43 contests. However, the Warriors failed to catch their stride early in the year, motivating them to swap Wiggins for Butler on February 5. Butler has undoubtedly elevated Golden State's organization. With the ex-Heat phenom, the Warriors have a realistic chance of reaching the Western Conference Finals this season. With Kuminga losing confidence in the Bay, there's no question Wiggins would be a safer option to pair with Butler and Curry this summer. Taking a backseat to Butler and Curry would allow the proven 30-year-old veteran to endure a less stressful role with the franchise during his second stint. O'Keefe's trade idea is one to consider as free agency approaches. Kendrick Perkins makes brutal Jonathan Kuminga comment despite Golden State Warriors Game 7 win, they need to. Jonathan Kuminga played in only 3 of the Golden State Warriors' 7 first-round games, and his future with the team is up in the air. After nearly blowing a 3-1 series lead, the Golden State Warriors beat the Houston Rockets in Texas in Game 7, and will advance to play the Minnesota Timberwolves in the conference semifinals. While Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry rightfully own the spotlight for the Warriors' success, Jonathan Kuminga has been receiving attention for the wrong reasons. In the Warriors' must-win final game of the regular season, which they lost, and subsequent play-in tournament victory, Kuminga did not play. In 4 of the 7 games against the Rockets, he was once again relegated to the bench and played only 7 scoreless minutes in the final game of the series. For lack of a better term, Kuminga has been downright unplayable, and his tenure with Golden State will likely be over after this season. Warriors urged to take drastic measures with Kuminga. Kuminga spent much of the regular season, before an ankle injury sidelined him, as the Warriors' third-best scorer. In the postseason, Buddy Hield, Brandon Podziemski, and Moses Moody have all stepped up, with 33, 26, and 25-point outings, respectively. The Warriors, it would seem, don't need him, and his poor play in Game 7 only cemented the case for him to receive DNPs for the rest of the Warriors season. Against a talented Timberwolves team with plenty of star power, the margin for error will be 0. Well, it's going to be huge, especially going against Minnesota, because everybody was wondering, who's going to be that third guy to step up scoring-wise, asked Kendrick Perkins. We thought it was going to be Jonathan Kuminga, but they need to sit him down for the rest of the playoffs because mentally, he's not there. Perkins went on to urge Steve Kerr to double down on shooting and rely on Hield more, at least until the sharpshooter proves him wrong. Buddy Hield tonight, especially in that first half, was huge for them, he finished. But that's what leadership does, right? It rubs off on guys. So we're watching a guy play with confidence. We're watching the coach believe in him. Steph trusts him. Draymond Green trusts him. Of course, the Warriors have other players than just Kuminga who can step up when needed. Warriors have options to replace Kuminga. At his best, Kuminga is a reliable defender and solid scorer, although his outside shot has always left something to be desired. Rather than deal with mental lapses and the frustrations that Kuminga has exhibited lately, Kerr has decided to recreate him in the aggregate. Moody can replace his defense, and Podziemski and Hield are both more versatile offensive players. On top of that, even third-unit players like Pat Spencer, Kevin Knox, and Tracy Jackson-Davis have stepped up and played with fire in their rare chances. Kuminga has been disengaged all postseason. Of course, it's hard to blame him. When the Warriors traded for Jimmy Butler, Kuminga was effectively replaced in the rotation. He and the Warriors were unable to agree on a contract extension, and he knows he will be playing elsewhere next season, so his drive to contribute to the team is, understandably, gone. However, with the Warriors vying for a title, it's unreasonable to expect Kerr and his teammates to go out of their way to comfort him. Warriors reveal Gary Payton 2 update before Timberwolves series. The Golden State Warriors were able to push aside the young and feisty Houston Rockets in Game 7 of their first-round playoff series on Sunday. Now, they will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference semifinals. Like the Rockets, the Timberwolves will bring a sizable frontline and one of the NBA's best defenses. Unlike the Rockets, however, the Timberwolves have a legitimate superstar in Anthony Edwards, a man who can win games almost by himself at times. Guard depth will be key for the Warriors in Round 2. Gary Payton too didn't play in Game 7 due to an illness, and he is reportedly listed as questionable for Game 1 versus Minnesota on Tuesday. Perhaps Payton isn't an overbearing defender. However, he can provide some scoring punch off the bench, and he seemingly has pogo sticks for legs. Part of Golden State's strategy to contain Edwards will likely have to be to go at him when he's playing defense. That means multiple men, including Payton, will have to chip in and be in attack mode. Payton averaged 6.5 points in 15.0 minutes a game and shot 57.4% from the field during the regular season. In Game 3 against the Rockets, he made 7 of his 9 field goal attempts and scored 16 points in just 21 minutes as Golden State took a 2-1 series lead with a 104-93 victory. The 32-year-old was a key contributor off the bench when Golden State won its most recent NBA championship during the 2022-23 season. Draymond Green's vow to keep his cool helps Warriors advance to face Timberwolves in West semis. During a team meeting the night before a win-or-go-home game for Golden State, Draymond Green had the floor. The Warriors were in danger of wasting a 3-1 lead on Houston in the first round of the NBA playoffs, Green told them, because he lost his composure in a Game 6 loss at home. The 12th-year defensive ace and opponent agitator then delivered his signature fire and a series-high 16 points, without blowing his top, in a blowout Game 7, win on the road to supplement superb performances by Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield that helped send Golden State into the second round to face Minnesota. People I trust the most, we had some heart-to-hearts after last game, Green said after the 103-89 victory over the Rockets on Sunday. My wife, one of my closest friends, Travis, my barber who's one of my closest friends, Coach, Tom Izzo. I pouted way too much last game, so I spent the last 2 days embarrassed at what I gave to the game, at what I gave to the world. Green's latest chance for redemption will come against Rudy Gobert and the Wolves, starting with Game 1 on Tuesday night. The Warriors are on the road again in this series, matching the number 6 and number 7 seeds in the mighty Western Conference after the well-rested Wolves bounced Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and the Los Angeles Lakers in 5 games. They played their best basketball down the stretch and into the playoffs. They're coming off of a really, really tough series, no doubt about it, but they showed what they're made of in that series, Wolves coach Chris Finch said. They got us 3 times out of 4 this year, but we haven't played them with the new look roster. A lot of things to contemplate coming into this series. It's definitely going to be a tough one for us. The Wolves give the Warriors plenty to ponder, too, starting with superstar guard Anthony Edwards. There's a reason the Wolves are where they are now, Warriors coach Steve Kerr said. They put together a really good roster. Chris has done a fantastic job as coach, but they are where they are because Ant is a superstar. You have to have a guy like that to build a great team. Green versus Gobert. Green, the 4-time All-Star and 4-time All-Defensive Team pick, always walks a fine line with how far to take his aggressive play. He hit Houston guard Jalen Green in the head and got a flagrant 1 foul in Game 6, one of those went too far moments. The presence of Gobert will test Green in multiple ways in this series, starting on defense. The 7'1" Gobert had 27 points and 24 rebounds in the Game 5 clincher against the undersized Lakers, and the Warriors can ill afford to allow such production around the rim. Gobert is a 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year winner, an award that Green has won once. Then there's the emotional factor. Green served a 5-game suspension in November 2023 for putting Gobert in a headlock, a few weeks before receiving another suspension for hitting Jusuf Nurkic in the face against Phoenix. Green went to therapy for help with better controlling his temper. You've got to play basketball. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of physicality, some of it certainly on the edge of legality, Finch said. Certainly there's going to be a lot of things said on the floor, or outside the game itself. We've got folks who play basketball. That's what we've got to do. Meaningful basketball. Both the Warriors and Wolves were furiously trying to avoid the play-in tournament down the stretch, and here they are with a spot in the Western Conference Finals on the line. Golden State, which got a big boost from the acquisition of the 6-time All-Star and clutch postseason performer Butler, finished 1 game below the cut but blew out Memphis to get the number 7 seed. Steph talked about it, meaningful basketball, Kerr said. I say it all the time, all we want is a chance. Every year you just want a chance. Jimmy came in here and gave us a chance. Our guys have done an incredible job flipping the season, advancing to this point. Now it's up to us to go get it. Playoff Jimmy. Kerr has constantly shuffled his rotations this season, never more critically than in Game 3 when the Warriors played without Butler due to a pelvic injury and still won, but he'd prefer not to have to navigate that again. He's a perfect fit because he never turns it over, and we have been a high turnover team in the past, Kerr said. We've always thrived when we've had guys next to Steph and Draymond who can stabilize the game, whether it was Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, David West, those type players, and Jimmy gives us that. So when the game needs to be settled down, he settles it down. He's got incredible confidence that I think fuels the rest of the guys. They believe in him, but they also feel his belief in them. Boos for Butler. None of the Wolves, coaches or players, were around for Butler's eventual 74 games with Minnesota from 2017 to 18. He helped the Wolves make the playoffs after a 14-year absence and became a pariah 5 months later by demanding a trade. Butler will surely be booed, even louder than Green, when he takes the floor at Target Center.